All right, cool. Thanks, everybody. So really happy to be here. I represent Astral, and we are focused on providing the tools to make building location-based decentralized applications effortlessly. And our focus is to provide those tools to help enable the development of location-based apps and simplify the creation of much-needed geospatial services for Web3 devs. So our focus is on delivering, I would say, three things. The first two really being more products, and the third being more fostering community. So the first is spatial registries, which is really core to the product that we offer, and that is to be able to have a user-controlled on-chain geodatabases with points, lines, and polygons that allow someone to easily create a spatial registry. The second and a key tenet is then the ability to have location proofs and/or attestations. So there should be both public and private, and we'll talk a little bit about what that looks like. And then the lastly is to continue to work with folks like Taylor and continue to try to foster this community here, right? So that we can continue to build the future of a decentralized web that has GIS factored into it. So how does it kind of like look, and what are like some of the key tenets, right? So we talked about the on-chain spatial registries. It's again kind of where everything starts. And from our end, then you can have these other features. We have a location attestation, private location attestation, DMRV, the measurement reporting verification, right, from a client perspective, and then any customized data. And we have the ability to engage from a registry's perspective with any of these through smart contracts that allows you to execute functions. So it really kind of summarizes here, right? The public plus private on-chain base maps plus the public plus private location proofs allows location-enabled smart contracts. And moving on to the next one. So what we've done is we've done some core research and had some key outputs. The first kind of being a tokenized registry, one being a spatial.sol, basically a toolkit, similar to turf.js, as well as then zero knowledge location proofs. So the ability to share your location or prove your location without necessarily giving up your location. And we've done some experiments, some prototypes. So the first is Collectivo, where we built geo NFTs to support local currency with environmental assets. So this is a pilot, and then it basically we allow individuals to plot a plot of land and then say this is the ecological state of that land, and then update that on a continuous basis, and then we create a marketplace for that, just based on the pure NFT tokenization element. And then the second was a spatial governance protocol for congested zones. So thinking about the power of autonomous vehicles or just, more interconnected vehicles, you enter a congested zone, like basically a tolled area, automatically the toll would be extracted, assuming you had the money in your funds. So pure pilot there. So this is now more of a technical diagram of how the solution that we built works. And I'd say there's clearly some key owners here. So you'd have, in this case, someone who would have the opportunity to create a registry, right? A spatial registry, very customizable. So this is just meant to be an example. You have feature types, control policies, metadata attributes. And once you create this registry, and you kind of see this is the center of everything, you'd be able to have, let's say, a mobile DApp user. This is you or I would go in and we're on mobile. We would check in the location. That would then basically confirm, hey, this individual, whether it be private or a private location proof or attestation via something like Ethereum attestation services, you then be able to confirm that user was in the defined area. In addition, we ultimately hope to be able to have connected data storage on centralized GIS systems like IPFS to be able to automatically communicate with all of these services, as well as then on the last end, right, the ability to really analyze and assess that data. Given it's blockchain, it's open and transparent. So just to illustrate some use cases, again, we're more of the protocol layer. So we want to help developers make these tools, right? Not necessarily we ourselves bring to market these applications, but we found a large part of product market interest for our services within the climate credits. So easy to imagine, even kind of going back to that Collectivo example, right? A climate project in this case would potentially aim to create a spatial registry of a carbon offset. So, hey, this patch of trees offsets this amount of carbon, and ergo, then that's a certain, a carbon credit that one could buy. So, but to verify that a carbon credit, because this is one of the biggest issues in the space, actually achieves its aim, you need to be able to have location claims or proofs that say, hey, this space has the degree of impact that it says it does. And the fact that all this is on the blockchain then also allows us to be able to do what we call like a risk assessment, to be able to see, hey, there are these overlapping plots. Because you see this a lot with the carbon credits, this concept of double counting. So there's one use case that we envision there. Another is a POAP attestation. So in this case, a developer might want to engage with concert attendees by issuing a proof of attendance proof depicted as an NFT. So in this case, one might create a special registry such as an NYC music venues, and then they could use our verifiable location claims to say this individual attested that they were there. We can verify they are, and then ergo we would airdrop a proof of attendance or an NFT to represent that they attended said event. And then the last, again, is that congested zones example. We ultimately envision a world where there's more autonomous vehicles, things are more connected, and ultimately then the ability to have more of a streamlined automated tolling process is more transparent is something that we can envision as well with Astral. But so these are more aimed to be potential use cases of what the tools and the solutions that we're building. Less, this is things that we are building and or that we know with a high degree of confidence will exist in the future state. Pretty confident about the climate. All of these use cases provide an example, but again, we're public goods and focus on providing the tools to make those applications. So what's next on the Astral roadmap? So right now we're in the short term, I think in the next week, we're going to publish our public and private spatial registry smart contract. And in addition, within the next 6 weeks or so, we're going to deploy attestations, public attestations through Ethereum attestation service. We're undergoing their fellowship program right now. And soon we hope to work with third-party devs to launch a product built on Astral. So basically finding target users who want to use our technology, give us feedback as well. We have a couple of people lined up, and then later to have a customizable contract with data validation. So really trying to help actually make sense of that data and provide the tools and the kits, if you will, to make sense of all that. So here's our lovely photo team. So it's me, myself, and John. All of this is a public goods grant funded. So, not necessarily trying to seek profit at this point in time. That's I think a key tenet of the product is itself. And if you're interested in the product, you can complete this little QR code here, and we can find some time to talk, whether it be from a user perspective, you want to contribute to the protocol, or you potentially would like to be a supporter and help fund our initiatives, or just kind of be a part of our community. So there's a lot, and we'll see if there's any questions. Thank you. Yeah.
With your use case with the music concerts, how much further have you explored that idea?
Yeah.
Specifically with I go to a lot of concerts and I want to relive that experience. It'd be nice to be able to get a recording of the concert that I went to and